It's 3 a.m. You can't sleep. You stare at the ceiling, you roll to one side, then the other, and before you know it, the sun is coming up. You tell yourself it's fine, just one night. Everyone does it. But here's what's actually happening inside your brain during those hours, and once you understand it, you will never think about sleep the same way again. Let's start with something most people have never been told. Sleep is not a passive state. Your brain does not power down when you close your eyes. It shifts into a completely different mode of operation, running critical maintenance processes that it simply cannot run while you are awake. When you skip sleep, you are not just missing rest, you are canceling maintenance. And just like a machine that never gets serviced, things start breaking down faster than you expect. After just 24 hours without sleep, the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain responsible for logic, decision-making, and impulse control, starts going offline. Your emotional responses become unstable. Small frustrations feel massive. Your reaction time slows down significantly. And here's the part most people find hard to believe. One night without sleep makes your brain perform exactly the same as if you were legally drunk. A 0.10% blood alcohol level. From just missing one night of sleep. Studies have confirmed this repeatedly, and the results are always the same. And the scariest part is you don't even notice because a sleep-deprived brain is too damaged to accurately measure how damaged it actually is. You feel like you are functioning, you are not. Your body is also reacting in ways you cannot see. Your cortisol levels spike, which is your stress hormone, flooding your system and putting your body into a low-level emergency state. Your immune system weakens. Your pain tolerance drops. Even your gut starts behaving differently. One night of bad sleep, and your entire biology shifts into a mode it was never designed to stay in for long. Now push it to 2 days without sleep. This is where things stop being inconvenient and start becoming dangerous. Your brain begins doing something called microsleeping. These are tiny blackouts, just 2 or 3 seconds long, that happen completely without your permission or awareness. You could be driving on a highway, you could be standing up giving a presentation, you could be mid-sentence in a conversation with someone, and your brain simply switches off for a moment. You will not feel it happen, you will not remember it. It just happens, and then you continue as if nothing occurred. This is one of the leading causes of road accidents worldwide, and most of the drivers involved had no idea they were impaired. Your ability to form new memories also collapses around this point. Information stops sticking, you can read the same paragraph 4 times and retain nothing. Your brain is running on emergency power, keeping only the most essential functions alive, and memory formation is not considered essential in survival mode. By day 3, the hallucinations begin. And when I say hallucinations, I do not mean a vague sense of something being off. I mean full, vivid, convincing hallucinations. People have reported seeing insects crawling across walls, hearing voices coming from empty rooms, watching shadows move and change shape on their own, feeling like someone is standing behind them when no one is there. Your brain, completely starved of the processes it needs to function, starts generating experiences that are not real just to fill the gap. It is the same mechanism that produces dreams, except now it is happening while you are awake and standing up. This is exactly what happened to Randy Gardner in 1964. He was a 17-year-old high school student in San Diego who decided to stay awake for as long as possible as a science fair project. By day 4, he thought he was a famous football player. By day 6, he could not complete simple sentences. By day 9, he was unable to recognize objects by touch alone. By day 11, he could not remember his own name for stretches of time. He finally slept after 11 days and 25 minutes, which remains one of the longest documented cases of intentional sleep deprivation in history. He recovered. But what Randy experienced gave scientists a window into just how completely the human mind unravels without sleep. Now here's what sleep is actually doing while you are unconscious, because understanding this changes everything. Every single night, your brain activates a system called the glymphatic system. Think of it like a biological dishwasher. While you sleep, cerebrospinal fluid pulses through your brain tissue, flushing out toxic waste proteins that accumulated throughout the day. One of the most significant of these proteins is called beta amyloid. You may have heard of it. It is the same protein that forms the plaques found in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. Without adequate sleep, beta amyloid builds up. Night after night, year after year. The connection between chronic sleep deprivation and Alzheimer's disease is now one of the most heavily researched areas in neuroscience, and the evidence is becoming impossible to ignore. Sleep is also when your brain consolidates memory. Everything you experienced today, every skill you practiced, every fact you learned, every emotional event you processed, all of it gets sorted, filed, and locked into long-term storage during sleep. This is why students who pull all-nighters before exams almost always perform worse than those who studied less but slept a full night. The information simply never made it into long-term memory. It was never filed. It was just sitting in a temporary buffer that got wiped when the test started. And here's the part that should genuinely concern most people watching this, because most people watching this are not staying awake for 3 days. They are sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night and telling themselves that is enough. It is not. Research from the University of California found that sleeping just 6 hours a night for 2 weeks produces the same level of cognitive impairment as staying awake for a full 24 hours straight. The difference is that when you pull one all-nighter, you know you are impaired. When you chronically undersleep, the decline is so gradual that your brain adapts to the new baseline. You stop remembering what it felt like to be fully rested. You start calling exhaustion your personality. You drink more coffee. You push through. And all the while, the damage is accumulating quietly in the background. Chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to a 48% increased risk of heart disease. It significantly raises the risk of type 2 diabetes by disrupting insulin regulation. It is one of the strongest predictors of depression and anxiety. It accelerates cognitive decline. It weakens immune function to the point where people who sleep less than 6 hours are 4 times more likely to catch a cold when exposed to the virus compared to those who sleep 8 hours. 4 times from sleep alone. There is even a condition called fatal familial insomnia, a rare genetic disorder where a person gradually and completely loses the ability to sleep. It begins with mild insomnia. It progresses to hallucinations and dementia. And within months to a year, it is fatal. There is no treatment. There is no cure. The only thing that kills these patients is the inability to sleep. It is perhaps the most brutal demonstration of just how non-negotiable sleep is for human survival. So what is the right amount? Most adults need between 7 and 9 hours, not 6, not 5, 7 to 9. And the quality matters as much as the quantity. Alcohol, late-night screen exposure, irregular sleep schedules, and high stress all fragment your sleep architecture. Meaning even if you are in bed for 8 hours, you may not be getting the deep sleep and REM sleep your brain actually needs. Every hour of sleep you skip is a debt. And unlike financial debt, your brain does not let you negotiate the terms. It collects, whether you are ready or not, through impaired thinking, emotional instability, weakened immunity, and over time, through the slow erosion of the very structures that make you who you are. So tonight, put the phone down, turn the screen off earlier than you think you need to. Keep your room cool and dark, and let your brain do the work it was designed to do. Because the most productive, the most intelligent, and the most important thing you can do for yourself right now is sleep.